All right, people, today we're taking a trip down memory lane. When I was a kid, one of my favorite meals was a sloppy joe. But we ate ours out of that nasty little manwich can, which still was pretty good. But today, I'm gonna show you the grown-up version. This recipe is absolutely delicious, comes together super quick, and it's pretty inexpensive. Meet me in the kitchen, let's make it happen.
Yeah, the quality of the bread, the onion.
It all comes together like a symphony.
Yeah.
This definitely junk you close your eyes when you buy it.
Alright guys, first things first, we're gonna go ahead and get our prep work done and out of the way. Today we're using some onion and some bell pepper. I'm using red and green, mostly for the color contrast. So feel free to use whatever you have on hand. My favorite way to prep a pepper, say that 5 times fast, is to put it face down and slice around the core, leaving the seeds intact because the seeds are sticky and they're kind of a pain to clean up. So if you do it this way, you get all the usable stuff and get rid of the stuff you can't use. So repeat that process for your peppers. You can use jalapenos, poblanos, whatever, serrano maybe, whatever you have. If you want to spice it up a little bit, there's some good options out there. But if you want to keep it simple like we are today, just some bell pepper will get the job done. So again, we're gonna slice around here. I'm also gonna do some fried onions to add a little texture, and fried onions are delicious. So we're gonna dress this sloppy joe up a bit and make it an adult version. That's still delicious. The kids will still love it, but you don't have to force yourself to eat the manwich stuff that your kids have been begging for. I think the slogan was like, make tonight a manwich night or something like that. This is one of those meals that I had as a kid, but we didn't have a lot of it for whatever reason, and I wish we would have had that more frequently than some of the other stuff that I ate more of as a kid, because it was pretty good. At least that's how I remember it. I haven't had a actual manwich sloppy joe in quite a while, but this grown-up version right here is money. You can't go wrong with it. All right guys, so half of this onion we're gonna add to the mixture that's gonna ultimately work its way into the meat mixture that we're gonna make for our sloppy joe. The other half of the onion we're gonna slice and fry and get some crispy fried onion strings to top our sandwich with, which is gonna elevate this to the next level. It's gonna add some texture and a lot of flavor because we're using my seasoned flour today. If you haven't tried that yet, you can get yours at mrmakeithappen.com. Or you can just season your own flour, a little salt, pepper, garlic, onion powder, stuff like that. I wouldn't be mad at you. So we're gonna give a nice rough dice to our onion, about the same size as the bell pepper. And we're gonna mix that together with the ground beef. Now for the fried onions, we're just gonna do little slices like this. Relatively thin. We don't want them to be onion rings per se. We want them to be more like onion strips. They're gonna get fried up and nice and crispy. Again, add some texture to an otherwise sandwich that doesn't have a whole lot of texture to it. So that's gonna enhance it quite a bit. And then if you season the flour properly, it's gonna add some flavor as well. So there we go. Just drop these in a little buttermilk or egg wash, seasoned flour, fry for 2 to 3 minutes max. You can add that to a salad or whatever sandwich you want, or you can eat it as a snack. All right, people, now it's time to get to cooking. We're gonna go ahead and warm our skillet over medium heat. To that, we're gonna add about a tablespoon of avocado oil. Once the skillet gets nice and hot, we're gonna add 2 pounds of 80/20 ground beef. Try to press down so it makes maximum surface area contact with that skillet so you can develop some color, some crust, and some texture, which is also gonna help enhance the flavor as well. All right guys, so I'm really gonna give it a good 5-6 minutes to get a nice good sear and color on there. Meanwhile, we're gonna go ahead and start seasoning this up. I'm going down first and foremost with my all-purpose seasoning, which is gonna cover our bases on the flavor profile. We got salt, pepper, garlic, onion powder, things of that nature. I'm also gonna add a little bit of smoked paprika. Smokiness pairs nicely with beef. It's gonna enhance the flavor of the sloppy joes as well. A little oregano, like a teaspoon of that. And then for a little bit of spice to offset some of the sweetness that we're gonna use, I'm going in with my hot all-purpose, which has a little cayenne and jalapeno powder. Now, you can use red pepper flakes or just cayenne pepper if you want to, but a little bit of that's gonna help offset the sweetness from the brown sugar and some of the other ingredients we got today. Next up, we're going in with about a half of an onion and the bell pepper that we diced up earlier. We're gonna allow that to sweat down and get tender for us as well. It's gonna add some texture, a little color, and it's gonna taste good. So we're covering all our bases right now. Continue to break up the meat with your spatula. I don't really mind there to be some chunks there because it actually plates a little bit nicer. It's called a sloppy Joe though, so if it's a little sloppy, no big deal, but I want to keep it on the sandwich. A lot of times when we eat a sloppy Joe, half of it ends up falling off on the plate. We got a couple other tricks we're going to use to help with that as well. Right now I'm going in with a tablespoon of garlic, about 2 tablespoons of worst word in the world sauce. The better quality you can find, the better. But whatever's in the pantry will get the job done. We're going to eyeball this. So this is going to add some umami to the flavor. Next up, 1 tablespoon of Dijon mustard. 3 tablespoons of ketchup. About 2 or 3 tablespoons of brown sugar. Save a little bit in case we need it. 2 tablespoons of tomato paste. We'll give that a mix to combine, and then we're going to add in a little flour, which is going to help hold everything together. As I said earlier, that's going to help with the consistency of your sandwich a little bit. That flour is going to help bind it together just a little bit, and then we'll deglaze with some beef stock. All right, folks, to beef up the beef flavor, we're going in with 1 teaspoon of Better Than Bouillon beef base. This packs a punch of flavor, but it also has quite a bit of sodium in it. So for that reason, we're using low or no sodium beef broth. So we're gonna get that in there. And then we're going in with 2 tablespoons of all-purpose flour. Give that a mix. Once the flour is cooked down, you don't see any white specks anymore. We'll go ahead and add in that beef broth, about 1 cup of beef broth. And then really let this simmer for a good 10-15 minutes. Let the flavors concentrate and come together. You can see it's already thickened up a bit. We're going to get that beef broth in there, bring it to a boil, and let it really reduce. Now, as always, guys, you want to taste as you go, adjust the flavor to your preference. We're right where we want to be. I'm going to add a little bit of a flavor enhancer here in the form of MSG, also known as this chicken bouillon powder you guys see me reach for fairly often. But it just kind of wakes everything up. If you're trying to avoid MSG, you can leave this part out. But about a half a teaspoon of that. And then just a little bit more all-purpose seasoning. And I think we're going to be right where we want to be. Let this go another 5 minutes or so. If you want to spice it up a little bit more, you could. But, you know, traditionally, sloppy joes aren't spicy. So we're not going to go crazy on the spice. You want to have a little hint of sweetness in there. But this is looking good. A lot better than that manwich stuff that we used to eat out of the can. And it comes together super quick and easy, guys. You can make a whole, you probably get a good 6 or 8 sandwiches out of this, depending on, you know, how hungry you are. All right, guys, in my opinion, any sandwich is better with a little fried onions, especially if you're using my seasoned flour. Shameless plug there, but we're gonna knock off any excess buttermilk and just toss these in that seasoned flour. Try to make sure they get as, you know, nicely coated and even as possible. Knock off any excess flour, and then we're gonna get them on a little rack right here until our oil gets to 350. Once the oil gets 350, we're gonna go ahead and drop these in that oil, fry them up. These fry up super fast, 2 minutes maybe. Once they're golden brown and crispy, we remove that, build our sandwich, and got yourself a nice lunch or quick weeknight dinner. All right, guys, in the spirit of elevating this dish, we're using brioche bread and a little garlic butter. I don't know about you guys, what bread you used for your sloppy joes growing up, but in my house, it damn sure wasn't brioche. But today, we're using brioche rolls. So, we're gonna go ahead and hit that with a little bit of garlic butter, a little Kimmy seasoning, garlic butter and herb right into a couple tablespoons of melted butter. Give that a little mix. We're gonna brush that on our brioche bread. Both sides like a professional. And then we're gonna toast our buns the way the good Lord intended. It's summertime, gotta have those buns toasted. So once that oil gets to 350 degrees, we're gonna gently place in our coated onions. We're shallow frying these, so be careful. You don't wanna get any splatter up on your forearms. You'll be all scarred up like me. Get them on in there. Again, they cook super fast, guys. So keep your eyes on these. Incredible flavor enhancer to a sandwich, though. All right, my friends, now it's time to assemble our sloppy joe, the grown-up adult version. So for that, we got some pickles. If you don't like pickles, you should probably grow up. They're gonna add a little bit of like a vinegar kind of bite to this, which is gonna be nice. If you don't like pickles, simply leave them out or say mean things to me about it in the comments section. But we're gonna load it up. Don't be shy with the pickles. All right, pickles first. Slide you over a little bit so we don't have as much spillage. And then we're gonna pile our sloppy joe mixture as high as we can. There we go. All right, last but not least, fried onions right on top. A little texture, a little flavor. And then, my friends, top bun. Maybe we'll do it like that for a couple flyovers. Let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know if you ever had a sloppy joe or when the last time was that you had a sloppy joe. For me, it's been a while, but I'm excited about this. This is the part where I say, brace yourself for a trademark money shot. Say it with me, guys, looking good. The only thing left to do is grab a napkin and dig in for the taste test. But before we do that, please take a quick second to subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit that bell to enable notifications as well. I really want to dig in for the taste test on this. This might be like my most anxiously awaited bite right here. I don't know if it's because I'm hungry or because I miss sloppy joes, but here we go. Look, there it is. That's the trademark right there. That's a 2-biter for sure. The pickles are a must. Imagine that drunk at like 2, 3 in the morning.
Oh my goodness. I mean, like 2 or 3 of them.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I need a smooth dozen. You can make these minis.
Oh, yeah.
Make them like White Castle joints. The onion and the pickle.
Yeah.
Because this is what make a burger good. Like a McDonald's double cheeseburger or something, the onions and the pickle make the whole sandwich. And this right here,